So now what's going to happen is there's going to be that number of high value men is going to shrink, and the demands of who they need to be is going to grow. And I think polygamy will happen for the majority of them,
I
and
can see
AI
that.
will be substituted to everybody else so that, there isn't crazy turmoil.
I can see that.
But I think it's going to be a huge class divide of who can keep their humanity through this technological evolution, and who's just going to adapt to the times.
So I got a question. Do y'all think that the further from like the basic things that we needed or the things that we defined as what made us human we get, the closer we get to our natural humanity with natural selection? Because what I'm hearing, it sounds like the the ability to work yourself into a high paying job or to have tangible skills you bring to the table increase your chances to have a child or create a family in this day and age. Initially, it wasn't like that. Only the strongest survived. The biggest men would, you know what I'm saying, or kings would have all of these women, and a lot of the men did not have those type of families. The further we get away from the current monetary system or from men being able to work their way in as women's standards rise, the closer to true natural selection we get. I don't know what y'all think about that.
I
Mm.
wholeheartedly agree. I think what technology is going to do and what, chaotic has been advocating for, I think will create a further divide in class of men. And I think it'll be even more competition. Not only will the men have to be 6 feet tall, make six figures, have a six pack, but social skills is going to be added to that immediately. So now what's going to happen is there's going to be that number of high value men is going to shrink, and the demands of who they need to be is going to grow. And I think polygamy will happen for the majority of them,
I
and
can see
AI
that.
will be substituted to everybody else so that, there isn't crazy turmoil.
I can see that.
But I think it's going to be a huge class divide of who can keep their humanity through this technological evolution, and who's just going to adapt to the times.
I feel like the irony is about the situation is that a lot of men look at the AI system in the metaverse as if they ducking the grind, as if they leaving, this challenging world that I'm in and going to a world that's more suitable for me and a world that's more easier for me. But fact is that, the more that takes a hold, you're gonna run into the same challenges over there that you run into in real life. You still got to go over there and build yourself up. You still got to go over there and get money and be a social butterfly and things of that nature. Networking is still gonna be important over there. So if you struggling in real life and you think I'm about to go to this AI universe that y'all say is taking over the world, your words not mine, and you think you're gonna be able to go over there and just duck the grind and everything is gonna come easy, you sadly mistaken. You're gonna run into the same issues that you had in the real world because those issues are within you, but you still got to go over there and build it
Right.
up. You don't
You're
just
taking
it
it
don't
with
just
you.
get handed to you
So
when you get there.
Right.
so Trill, it's a line of thought. This isn't my particular line of thought because I think I suffer from this or whatever. I think you might suffer from this too. Um, your experience and how you've been treated dictates how your confidence level is and how you interact with other people. And because you had good treatment or a preferential treatment, the things that come easy to us that make our personality be able to flourish is the same reason other men. So I give you an example. If you were single and you was to go hit on a woman, it would be considered flirting. But if a man wasn't attractive, was short, it would be considered harassment, and that could shape the way you view the world. So maybe in the AI, it'll give them a chance to not have to have the lookist or heightest or all those things, and maybe potentially be able to exist in a space where they have a platform of equality, where they don't have that self consciousness of all this previous projection and all those things. What you think?
But see,
Not,
my only thing about that is right is that even when you go create those people in the
Mhm.
metasphere, it's still part of you that's in it, right? Like you in charge of the interaction, you in charge of the conversation, you in charge. Like you can get somebody to represent you over there in
Mhm.
terms of somebody that look good and handsome and all of these things. But fact is that it's still your mindset that's controlling it. So if you broken in the real world, you're gonna go over there and be broken as well. So even you're still gonna have to learn social skills. It's just not gonna be social skills in our world. There's gonna be social skills in that world. But my thing is that if you're struggling from a social perspective in this world and you think you're gonna just go over here and just because you get a new identity, things are gonna change, you're sadly mistaken. It's kind of similar to women in this world, right, who are very insecure. And then they go to Dr. Miami and spend that $5,000, $10,000, get their body done, get suited up and all of this, take their pictures on Instagram, and then they just automatically assume, okay, I'm gonna turn into a different person. But if you dealt with these women, you know good and well that insecurity does not go away. As a matter of fact, it gets worse. So that's not gonna fix it. People need to fix themselves so that way, regardless of what environment you in, you're gonna be able to thrive in. But ducking the grind in one and thinking it's gonna come easy in the other, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you on that. I'm just for the sake of argument putting this hypothesis out that I seen. It's a cartoon called Lookism. I don't know if anybody ever heard of it on Netflix. And what it is it's a guy. He's like a chubby guy, real awkward and weird, right? And when he goes to sleep, they take his personality and put in an attractive, athletic, tall guy. And the same person, but his life experience starts to differentiate like completely. Now people are wanting to hang around him, gifting him clothes. The stuff he says, the same exact jokes are now funny. His personality isn't a turnoff. It's just quirky. Like when the shell changes, just for sake of argument, when the shell changes, does that then change the way your confidence comes off? Because the things that can be negatives, in the less attractive shell, then become extreme or tolerable quirks.
I got a question for you though. Just one quick question on this. Do you believe in the idea of imposter syndrome?
I read my mind.
Imposter syndrome. Can you break down for me?
It's basically where, say for instance, like us, for example, right? You take somebody from the hood or whatever, and then you put them in this corporate job. They get a corporate job and they're around people that they just unfamiliar with. And regardless of how talented that we may really be, we don't feel like we belong there. Our outer shell is saying we do. We got the dress, we got the tie, we got the suitcase, we got the mannerisms. When I get up, I button that top button. When I sit down, you got all of it down. But in your head, you don't feel like you belong there. And that causes you to kind of doubt yourself, and that kind of affects your ceiling and your confidence that you walk around with. So the reason I ask is that in that exact scenario you gave, I feel like imposter syndrome can cripple a person in that situation, even though they get in different interactions, but that person on the inside is still there. And the fact that you questioning yourself is only going to improve your quality of life so much, because you don't feel like you belong in this. This is not really who I am. People are falling in love with this symbol of me, not necessarily me, and that can cause you to conflict mentally. So that's why I asked it. But go
I
ahead.
100% think that's a thing. I'll probably reference, like, if you ever seen a girl that was fat when she was growing up and unattractive, and then as she got older, maybe her body changed and she got a BBL, she tends to still have a base good personality, and then with the looks, now she has a man that can get her married. You know what I'm saying? But that's an interesting concept. That's an interesting concept.
So I love this dialogue between the two of you, but I think with this, there's an added layer to it, right? Because when you're talking about, the big girl that lost weight, or the girl that went and got the surgery, or whatever it is, right? Those physical changes are real. Whereas with this whole AI thing, metaverse thing, they're not, right? So no matter how much confidence you build in this alternate universe, you still wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth, and you're not physically the person that you're presenting online, right? I think it's so far past imposter syndrome at that point that I think maybe we need to come up with a new term for it, because the physical changes are no longer real.
But see, here's the thing. Pardon me, Coach. Here's the thing, though. Like, even in situations like that, people have it to where, like, as soon as I get up, I could tap into this. I can put this uniform on immediately, and that could cause them not to feel the way that you're saying that they should feel or that they do feel, because I don't necessarily have to deal with real life as much. I can wake up, and you're right. When I wake up, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm looking in that mirror, I see this person that I'm uncomfortable with. But as soon as I put that toothbrush down, I can go log in, put my headset on, and I'm immediately somebody else. So I feel like because it's so easy to just jump into it, that it may not cause them to be as devastated every time that they look at themselves in the mirror. It's just like a chick who insecure with her face. First thing she do when she get up in the morning, brush her teeth, put the makeup on immediately. It don't matter if she got an event. She could be going to the mailbox. She could be going wherever. She put that makeup on quick, jump on Instagram, and I can be who I want to be. Right? I only got to deal with the real me for so much time out of the day. And that right there could cause a hurdle in that ideology that you're saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's in a way of getting to what I was talking about with the artificial stuff, as far as if you don't like the way you look, for example, and you eat or you drink or whatever, it does soothe it for a little bit, but at some point you're gonna face, and too, deep down, what it actually is. So then I don't know. I think I just lost my train of thought. Either way, you're going to wake up. But, the last thing I was going to say was, we're still so behind as far as, we know so much about the brain, and we're so advanced when it comes to, I like to say neuropsychology, but the society has not advanced. We're still looking at, our brain as far as if it's determinism or relativism, but we know at the quantum level that we can change our thoughts and actually change the brain, honestly. So it's interesting how that's going to throw things, and then you add Neuralink and stuff. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm kind of scared too.